Greetings, everyone. I'm Mar. Once again, this is my opinion. As you can tell from the title up there, I'm continuing my trek through the episodes of the classic 90s cartoon Batman the Animated Series. We are now on episode 15, and this is going to be The Cat in the Claw Part 1, another two-parter. And this is the one that, of course, introduces Catwoman, who in this show is voiced by Adrienne Barbeau, and Red Claw, voiced by Kate Mulgrew, putting on a slight accent to her voice to make the character a little bit more exotic. Now, this was the first episode of the show that was aired, at least in North America, and that was in order to capitalize on the hype up from the release of Batman Returns. And of course, just like how the Penguin was designed to resemble Danny DeVito to a point to synergize with it, they gave Catwoman blonde hair for the same reason. And of course, also made her a little bit of a fighter, not a lot. And of course, really the romantic tension between her and Batman, both in and out of costume to various degrees. Now, as I was watching this episode, I was wondering, why did they make this a two-parter? Because I'm watching this and I'm going, nothing strikes me. And then the last part of the episode, I'm like, okay, that explains it. Now, I'm recording this having only watched that. So there might be stuff in the second episode where I'm like, okay, that is more. Or it might be, didn't really need to be a two-parter. But we'll see. It was written by Jules Dennis and Richard Muller. And it was Kevin Altieri who directed it. And this is what he had to say about it. There was one scene that calls for a slight impossible bit of animation. It's where Red Claw is briefing her man with a slideshow, so she moves in front of the projected image during the briefing. And in cartoons, he said, you want lines to bend over characters. It's not a trick. It's real animation. You shouldn't do it. The chances of it working are astronomical, but I went for it anyway, and they did it. They blew so many other simpler things, and this they pulled off. I think he's talking about how the animators, with other little small bits and pieces in the show, especially this episode, things were not as good as they should be, and then they go and do this. Well, I guess kind of shows that you're going to put your effort into certain parts of it. For the rest of the animation of the episode is decent. I mean, nothing out there that like grabbed my attention like, oh, that's probably the only part. And given the plot, I guess you can see why. Episode begins, Catwoman, of course, doing Catwoman stuff, scouring the city. She breaks into a residence and steals stuff. She gets out, and of course, she's followed by Batman. And Batman, based on his dialogue, has been hearing reports about a cat burglar, and then he's like, oh, sorry, new cat burglar's a woman. So I guess the reports have been very vague. They didn't even know the gender, didn't know the ethnicity, nothing other than, oh, new cat burglar in town, very good. And of course, given that she is cat themed, she has a cat sidekick named Isis. Given the connotation that Egyptian god's name has gotten in the last couple of years, you could probably see that if this was made nowadays, they probably would have gone with a different god name. Maybe not the one that actually has a cat's head. That might have been a little too on the nose, but never know. Or maybe they'd keep it, because why should a terrorist group pilfering Osiris's wife's name cause stuff like that? Now, Batman chases her, and this is a decent chase scene for the episode. It almost ends in tragedy because Isis runs in front of the road and almost gets hit by a car. Excuse me. Changed my wording there a bit. Batman manages to save the cat, and that gets a little bit of affection from Catwoman. Then we cut to a gala that is to raise money for animals, and one of the things that they are auctioning off, because it's primarily an auction one, is a date with Bruce Wayne. Given the bachelor lifestyle he leads, even though it's toned down compared to other versions, of course, he's going to auction off a date with himself for this. And the bids start low. It gets up to 1,000, and then Selina Kyle, Catwoman and her human guys, decides to throw big money around, and she bets $10,000, and she wins. As they're talking and all that, you can tell that Bruce is instantly attracted to her. Like, it's real instant attraction. Selina, not so much. I mean, she's still kind of attached to Batman, in memory serves, I don't remember if they actually both find out who the other is. I think by the end of the next episode they probably will, but so far at this point neither of them do. And Selena's trying to, like, brush it off, like, yeah, this is strictly professional, it's all for the animals. You don't even have to go, I know, he's like, but I'm honor bound to. So they're going to go on the date, and then a deal that Selena was trying to finagle in order to get land for a mountain lion preserve gets pulled, and she is mad. Well, Bruce, being the businessman with connections he has, sets up a little meeting with the person she was trying to make a deal with, who was dodging her calls, and he's giving her the typical businessman shtick, like, all their deal's made, I'm in the resort and all that. And of course, Selena threatens him with her animal rights activist buddies. Like, keeping an eye on him, being like that. And then Selena, as Catwoman, breaks into the place. She manages to get away, but they're tracking her. And that is... There's some other stuff in there, but that's this episode in a nutshell. And there's not really much else to say about it. It's the first appearance of Catwoman. You got Adrienne Barbeau in there. You got Red Claw, which, other than her being in this episode, I don't remember a lot about Red Claw. Both from when I watched the show as a kid and from when I did my rewatch almost 10 years ago. That should just say something about it. And just from a lot of the videos I've been watching, it seems like Red Claw is one of the characters for the show that a lot of people, If it wasn't for Mulgrew being the one who is voicing her, especially right before she went on to lead a Star Trek show, it'd probably be forgettable. If it wasn't for that cast, then they probably would have only used her in these 2 episodes if they ended up using her with more. That's really all there is to say about this one. Like I said, the animation's decent. That one shot is probably one of the best parts of it. And now we'll see how I like in the next one. And the next one has different writers, so we'll see if there's a little bit of a disconnect with that story when you jump from one pair of writers to another when it's a 2-parter. And we'll just see how the rest of it goes with that, because I do have some notes regarding the second half there as well. But, oh, wait a minute. Never mind, that's the episode after. There is no notes for the second part. Yeah, because I forgot. I usually highlight the episode names. I forgot to highlight that one, so. But a couple episodes after that is when we're going to get to an interesting one. But that just shows there's not really much I have to say about it, because I'm just rambling here at the end, so. That's it for this episode. So next time we're going to delve into part 2 of The Cat and the Claw. Till then, everybody.